It's time. No more asking permission to paint a room or to have a pet. No more renting. The time has come for you to buy your first house. First of all, congrats. This is huge, and I want to guide you through every single step. Knowledge is power, and if you feel empowered, nothing can stop you. So here is your step-by-step guide to buying your first house. Step 1. Are you really ready? Many people decide it's time to buy a home, and the first thing they want to do is start looking at houses. Nope. You need to think about your situation. If you're thinking about seeking financing for a loan, do you have 2 years job history, a decent credit score, 2 years worth of tax returns, and the place that you want to buy the home, are you going to be staying there for a little while? These questions should all be easy yeses to know if you're really truly ready. Step 2, find a real estate professional. You're about to make the largest financial purchase of your life. You need a true professional in your corner. A licensed realtor who is full-time in the business. Not your neighbor's son who just got their license 2 months ago. No offense to that agent. Or to your aunt who's had a license for 10 years but has only sold 3 houses. If you are not working with somebody who treats real estate as their full-time job, you're at risk. At risk of missing important details by somebody who's not seasoned, contract updates, because they do change, the latest market info, the best vendors, and local insights. Every 2 years, all agents are required to complete a certain amount of continuing education to keep their license active. But what really keeps me and other true professionals at the forefront is being out in the field every day, seeing what buyers and sellers are going through in real time, talking with other professionals on the regular in this business, like lenders, insurance agents, and builders, to know what's coming and what to expect. There's a reason that only 13% of agents make it past 5 years. This job is hard, and you want somebody who can get you into your first home with knowledge and organization. You should be prepared to sit down with your agent to go through a strategy session to talk about your wants, your needs, your questions, and concerns. You will also want to review their buyer-broker agreement. It's a document that details what you can expect from your agent and what they expect from you in return. Buying a house can be a beautiful thing, and it's even better when you have clarity right up front. Step 3, finances. Figure out your financial situation right up front so you don't get your heart broken and you know what you should be looking for. There's nothing worse than falling in love with the perfect house and finding out that you can't get a loan for it. You have options: cash or financing. With cash, be sure to factor in more than just your purchase price. You've got to be thinking about things like closing costs, moving costs, and any repairs or renovations that your new home might need. Make sure you're giving yourself some cushion for anything unexpected. With a loan from a bank, a good local lender is key. If you cannot reach them after 5 p.m. or on a weekend, run away. Real estate never sleeps. And while you should refrain from texting your lender at 10 p.m. to ask about today's mortgage rate, if something goes sideways with your transaction on Friday at 7 p.m., you better be able to get an answer from your lender. If you aren't sure who to use, ask your realtor. We work with lenders every single day and can recommend the ones that we know are going to get the job done. You will fill out an online application to start. If you are shopping lenders and comparing, it's okay to fill out multiple applications. Just make sure you do it within a few days of each other so that the credit bureaus know you're shopping. The application will ask basic contact info, job status, and it will get the information needed to do a credit pull. Lenders who are really good will also dig deeper. They'll ask you for your W-2s, your tax returns, proof of income, and talk with you about it all so there's no surprises. The point of this, while it does feel like a lot of work up front, is that it actually makes your buying process so much smoother. If you go looking for houses before you do this, you are wasting time. Yours, your realtors, and the sellers. And remember, when you get your pre-approval, don't change anything. Don't quit your job, don't buy a car, don't lease a boat. Don't change the picture that you have painted for your lender. Otherwise, you may lose your house. Last, once you get your pre-approval number, remember, you don't have to spend it all. Just because you get approved for $500,000 doesn't mean you have to spend $500,000 on a house. Chat with your lender about what the monthly payment would be based on the purchase price, and be sure to have them include taxes and insurance. Because if your monthly budget fits, that's going to allow you to reverse engineer what purchase price is best for your budget. Because at the end of the day, not only do you want to make sure you can buy the house, you want to make sure you can afford to stay in the house. Bet you didn't think this one was going to be all the way down at number 4, did you? Once you've chosen a great agent and lined up your finances, now is the time to start looking at houses. You can look at any number of websites, and your agent will also be sending you properties as well. Some tips. If you want to look at new construction, please tell your agent before you go, and don't just pop by without them. Most builders have a policy that if you show up on your first visit without your agent, they won't allow you to work with them. And you want an agent in your corner for representation, whether the house is a resale or it's a brand new build. It's the same rules for a FSBO, for sale by owner. Tell your agent that you're interested and let them help. You hired them for a reason, remember? Be sure to use them, don't skirt around them. And if you feel like you need to skirt around them, then you need to go back to some previous steps because you're with the wrong agent. Step 5, negotiating the contract. You found the house. Now it's time to get with your agent to discuss what offer you're going to write up. Your agent should be able to tell you what has recently sold in the nearby area, because that will help you determine whether or not the list price is a fair one. If you are competing against other offers, why the seller is selling, and what's important to the seller. The closing date, the price, repairs. All of these little tidbits are going to help you write a super strong offer. Once you discuss all the terms of your offer, your agent is responsible for writing it up and then having you sign it. You will sign the offer along with any other disclosures like a seller's disclosure, HOA, or condo, along with any other contingencies that you might be adding with your offer, an appraisal contingency or a pre-occupancy agreement. Talk with your agent, they're going to walk you through all the pieces. Once your offer is signed and completed, your agent is going to submit it to the listing agent. Really great agents make sure that they call and talk with the other realtor before submitting the offer to tell them a little bit about it and make sure that that agent knows it's coming. A 24-hour time for acceptance is pretty standard in my area. It's enough time for the sellers to discuss and think about your offer while not leaving so much open time available for other offers to sneak in. Step 6, offer accepted. Once your offer is accepted, congrats. Now it's time to get to work. Your earnest money is going to be due. This is a deposit that shows the sellers you're serious and that you have some skin in the game. Now, depending upon the terms of your contract, under certain circumstances, if you cancel, this can be refunded. Inspections will begin as well, and these are at your cost. You can hire a home inspector, pest control for WDO, wood destroying organism. You can do radon, structural, roof, well, septic. Basically, you can look under the hood and do anything you want so long as you're paying the bill and you don't do any permanent damage to the property in the process. If something major comes up during inspection, you and your agent can get together to ask for either a repair before closing, a credit at closing, or a lower purchase price. What you can ask for and expect depend on the type of contract. In many circumstances, not all, but in many, if you cancel during the inspection period, you will get your earnest money back. And during this inspection period, especially in Florida, you're also going to shop for your homeowner's insurance. That way, if the insurance is requiring you to replace the roof or the water heater, you can wrap that in to your repair requests. While the inspections and the insurance shopping is happening, simultaneously, you're also going to be in touch with your lender if you're seeking financing. They're going to need additional forms filled out and more documentation that they will request. And remember, the quicker you do these things, the smoother your loan goes and the faster it'll close. Step 7, appraisal and survey. If you're seeking financing for a loan, the bank is going to send out an appraiser to do a valuation of the home. During this time, if a survey doesn't already exist from the current owner, it's important to go ahead and get one ordered because the bank will often require it and it can take a few weeks to get back. When the appraiser goes out, they will then go back to their office and put together the report. This is the number that the bank is going to base your loan on. For example, if you're buying a home for $450,000, you and the seller have agreed on that price. But if the appraiser goes out and looks at the recent neighborhood sales and sees that everything else that's similar to this house has only sold for $415,000, your appraisal may not come back at $450K. First thing, if the appraisal comes back either at or above your contract price, there is nothing left to do but celebrate and move on to the next step. But if the appraisal comes in low, you have a problem. If you and the seller agreed that the purchase price was going to be $450,000, but the appraiser came back with a value of $425,000, your loan is going to be based off $425,000, not $450,000. Which means you're now looking at a $25,000 gap between what the bank is willing to loan you and what your seller is expecting, and that may be money that you do or do not have. If this happens, you can do one of a few things. First, if you have the money, you can just bring the difference to closing. Second, you can ask the seller to reduce the purchase price to the appraised value. Third, you can do a bit of both. They reduce the price a little bit, you bring a bit of money to closing. The last thing is you can cancel the contract. And depending upon the terms you've set, you may or may not get your earnest money back. Step 8, final loan approval. The lender is going to ask you for all kinds of paperwork and documents throughout the entire process. But as closing gets closer, as long as you don't do anything drastic like quit your job, open a credit card, or make major changes, you're going to get the best news a buyer can receive. Clear to close. This means everything is in order for you to sign all the paperwork and become a new homeowner. Step 9, final walkthrough. Before closing, you will do a final walkthrough of the property. You'll go with your agent or someone from their team and check everything out. Make sure all the appliances are there, that no major damage has occurred. If there was a crystal blue clear pool on the day that you saw the house, make sure that it's not green and swampy. Basically, you want to make sure that the house on closing day is in the same condition it was when you went under contract. This is not another inspection. It is not time to nitpick or try to find little things that are wrong and to ask for repairs. This is to make sure that the house is in the proper condition for you to move in. If you find something wrong, say there was a leak in the bathroom overnight, or perhaps the washer and dryer that was included in the contract is missing, your agent will get in touch with the other agent to make sure you can come to a resolution before you sign, because that's when you have the most leverage. Step 10, closing. If you are not local, your closing agent can set up a mail-away closing where they'll send you all the paperwork and you'll find a local notary to get it done, and then you'll mail it back. If you are local, you'll attend closing in person. Bring a photo ID and then get ready to sign, and sign some more. Closing usually takes about an hour. Whoever's conducting the closing is going to go over all the documents and explain exactly what you're signing. Once everything is signed, if you're doing financing, all of those documents get sent to the lender for review. You get to make small talk in the office while this happens. And then once the lender approves everything and releases the funding, congratulations, you are a homeowner. This is huge, the American dream, and a massive step towards building wealth for years and years to come. Way to go. I hope that this step-by-step guide provides you a little bit of clarity and maybe makes the process slightly less scary. But what I want to harp on again is that if you are seeking financing, there are some very big things that you need to pay attention to, and there are 5 things that you better not do. I'm Lindsey Johnson, your resource for all things real estate. See you next time.